Good afternoon, Bimblers. And you join me on the outskirts of Lymm, here in Warrington. And it can mean only one thing. We're having one of our little Friday night camps over in Spud Wood, as promised. It's a bit windy, so we'll see how we go. But for now, let's stop messing about and let's bimble.
It's yours, just wait. You do your best along the way. But it's those arms that told me I don't care if it's yours or mine. Without you it's just a waste of time. You showed me from the start such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours, big aspirations need a heart to hold you down. Though some get lost along the way, as sure as night designed the day, as long as I'm allowed to say, it's my heart that told me I don't care, you just disagree. Without you it wasn't meant to be. You showed me from the start such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours, big aspirations need a heart to hold you I don't care, you can say what you like. I'm a peace-loving person, but I know I'm right. It's as easy as right from wrong. I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I wrote this song. You showed me from the start such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours, big aspirations need a heart to hold you down. From the start such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours, big aspirations need a heart to hold you down.
Behind me is St. Peter's Church here in Ortrington. Ortrington is just on the outskirts of Lymm. It's where Spud Wood is. Nowadays we just call it Old Lymm, but I'm sure back in the olden days they were two completely separate places. And this church was finished in 1872, and these days it's Grade 2 listed. But what if I told you that there was a link to another church in Honolulu in Hawaii? That's right. The men that built this church, Richard Herbert Carpenter and William Slater, were also commissioned to build a Church of England church in Honolulu for the Hawaiian royal family. It was King Kamehameha IV, that's easy for him to say, that commissioned the church in Honolulu. And him and his wife Queen Emma, that's much easier to say, were staunch Church of England members. Which is funny, because Hawaii is now part of the United States. King Kamehameha and his brother did a tour of the United States when they were teenagers. And when they were boarding a train, they were mistaken for slaves. In fact, he wrote in his journal, "I found he was a conductor and took me for someone's servant just because I had darker skin than he had. Confounded fool. The first time that I have ever received such treatment, not in England or in France or anywhere else. In England, an African can pay his fare and sit alongside Queen Victoria. The Americans talk and think a great deal about their liberty, and strangers often find that too many liberties are taken. It wasn't the only time either. They went to a posh dinner party in New York, and the people serving them didn't really take kindly to serving people with darker skin than them. So when they were served their dinner, everyone else was served with napkins, and the king and his brother were served with bibs, you know, babies' bibs, implying that they wouldn't know how to eat at a table, which was very humiliating and no doubt embarrassing for the host of the party. So they swerved away from the United States and closer to the United Kingdom. In fact, if you look at the Hawaiian flag, it has a Union Jack on it. And they requested that Queen Victoria sent a bishop out there, and they commissioned Slater and Carpenter to build them a church. Just like this church here in Ortrington, only a bit warmer. But we're not here just to look at the church. We're here to pinch a little bit of water. It's a top camping tip if you're wild camping or stealth camping as we are tonight. Churches with a graveyard usually have a tap in them so that you can water your flowers. And it's mains water, it's not dirty corpse water or anything. So we can pinch a little bit of water to cook our tea. Let's bimble. Well, Bimblers, this isn't where we're going to camp. I've got a little spot spied inside the woods, but it's a little bit too dark to show you me cooking me tea. And what's on the menu tonight? Well, we're in Spud Wood, so it would be a travesty if it wasn't potato based. So we're making potatoes bravas, or at least potatoes bimblas. I'm doing it ever so slightly different. You may or may not know, but the difference between potato bravas and Bombay potatoes is some herbs and spices, and the fact that the potatoes are boiled in Bombay potatoes and deep fried in potato bravas. Well, I can't really do deep frying on a Trangia stove, so what we're going to do is we're going to parboil the potatoes and then finish them off in the frying pan, and just, you know, blur the lines between Bombay potatoes and potato bravas. So what do we need? We need some miniature potatoes. We get miniature ones because they'll cook quicker. I might even cut them in half. And we need a tin of chopped tomatoes. I've also brought a little bit of tomato puree just to add the zing. At home, I chopped up a red onion and 2 cloves of garlic. That saves me having to bring a chopping board here to the woods. And while I was at home, I prepared a little container filled with some special herbs and spices. That would be chili flakes, paprika, a little bit of ginger, just to blur the lines between Bombay potatoes and potato bravas, some black pepper and some salt. Because we like things spicy, I got some jalapeno peppers. So how do we go about this? Well, first off, we're going to boil our potatoes. I nearly forgot my most secret ingredient. I decanted a little bit of Henderson's relish, because we can't cook without that, can we? You know I love that from a little home video. I'm on the path. It's the only place I could get the sunlight. I bought some diced chorizo just to keep it Spanish, so we'll plop that in as well just to warm through. Ready, and not a minute too soon, because it's going dark. Delicious. Very spicy, just the way I like it. We best get this down us, then find where we're going to camp. Hopefully, there's no kids drinking White Lightning or whatever they do these days.
the amount just to loosen the lips. For a trembled account where all characters fit to marry me. With the drink's blotted line and a mindset erased. With the absence of mind that emotion replaced with just marry me. Oh, just marry me. With the branded belief and the faith I renounce, would it please deities if the words from my mouth would just marry me? If I focus my eyes and I focus the words, like I'm knocking them back just to build up my nerve into marry me. Oh, just marry me. With the branded belief and the faith I renounce, would it please deities if the words from my mouth would just marry me? If I only let slip of the drink that I've had, if I loosen my grip and my tongue was to wag, just marry me. In a drunk glass remorse like a towering waste, where my only recourse is your hand and my faith, oh just marry me. Oh, just marry me. Just marry me.
Well, Bimblers, that was Spud Wood. It's rather chilly. You may notice I have my jumper on. But we made it through the night. I could have quite easily rode my bike home and just come back this morning and staged the camp. But I didn't. I stayed the whole night with the squirrels rustling about in the leaves, scaring me half to death. I've got my bag full of rubbish. And it's half full with everyone else's rubbish as well. It's something I like to do to alleviate the guilt that I've camped somewhere I shouldn't really be camping. And with that in mind, we're going to go back to where we first started filming yesterday and deal with something. Let's bimble.